Well, first, I just want to just say thank you to everybody coming out tonight. 6 o'clock Friday night game before tomorrow's football game. So hopefully gets off, get us off to a great start this weekend for Penn State. I appreciate all the students being there. They were loud and fun. I just have such great respect for Coach Ferry and how he goes about it, how he runs his team, how I just have great respect for him. So I appreciate him bringing his team up here. He's one of us. He's a Penn Stater, and as I told the team, that's one of the guys that kept this thing going when he was here, and the life he gave the program and his relationship with the former players, with our alumni, is special. And I wanted to say that publicly because we get so wound up in the game and all that stuff. The great thing about this game is you run into super people, and he's on the top of the list. So I wish him and his team a great year and hope they win the league.
Mike, you guys have gotten to the foul line so far through 2 games. How can that help you when you get to conference play? When trying to think of how to phrase this, the level that it's officiated differently, and how can the physicality you're dealing with now help you fight through contact and finish rather than maybe when you won't get to the line?
Our goal is to play inside out and get downhill, John, and draw fouls, score against physical wall-ups, physical vertical square-ups, and got big guys coming across to try to block your shot. That's how we play. And even last year when we didn't have as many weapons, when we got in that bonus and we got downhill, I think we'll finish better at the rim than we did last year. But that's got to be a huge emphasis. And I don't care who we play. That's what we do, and that's the mentality we got to have. I don't care if it's on the road in the Big Ten or a home game here or late in the season. This is who we are. This is what we do. This is how we're going to go about it, and we got to stick to that. And we work on it all the time. So gives you confidence now, but you got to do it against everybody on your schedule. That's the key.
Coach, we saw Javin have a great game on Monday. Dominic comes in and 3 steals in 10 minutes. Can you talk about the energy that those 2 freshmen bring off the bench, and a little bit about how that impacts the depth of your team?
Well, they're both very good shooters, but they just what I really appreciate about them and all the freshmen is they just really embrace playing really hard. I've been really hard on Dom because I think he could be really, really good. I think he could be a special player for us. He knows that I've been really hard on him. I've been hard on Javin too. Then again, Javin has to play against Ace every day in practice, so that helps him too. So I told these guys, you're never going to have games as hard as our preseason and how we went about it. So when you go out here, let your hair down and just go play really hard. I bet you good things will happen. Both of them are talented players. They were talented players before they got here. They're just very quickly learning, hey, I could be a part of this. I could really help this team. I could go off the bench and give us great minutes. And the other thing too is look at Nick and DeMarco coming off the bench. That's 7 starters we got. And Nick was out there with 3 freshmen and a new guy transfer, and he's being a senior leader. Those are the different scenarios you'll see here early in the year. I'm going to throw these freshmen in the fire. They're talented. They got to get beat up a little bit. But I really appreciate their approach and effort.
Nate?
I apologize if this is silly.
This is going to be a good one right here.
I love it. Is there a momentum aspect to seeing 100 on the scoreboard, to getting to that number for these guys?
Not about the number, Nate. Everybody loves the number, right? But to me, it's about them seeing the ball go in. But the ball's going in the right way. We're sharing it. We had 21 assists today on 37 baskets. We got steals. Instead of someone being selfish trying to get to the rim, they're passing and looking for their teammates. We had transition 3s today because guys gave the ball up. We threw it in the post. It also came out. So when the ball's hot and everybody's getting a piece of it, and I think that creates confidence, and you start seeing that ball. I always say when guys share the ball and you go from good shots to great shots, the rim gets bigger, the hoop gets bigger. I think you've seen that. But there's a joy to this team the way they play. We need adversity. We need some games coming up that are going to create some adversity. I'm glad we went through a little bit in the game. We're not up 10-0 to start the game, and that's the stuff we need to go through. But I do think the guys sharing the ball and you see that ball goes in creates great confidence for you. That's a strong sweater you got on today, man. Friday night pink, I love it.
in the back.
Ace had a bit of a quiet night scoring-wise.
Who's
but
that?
Ace, but from an assist standpoint, he led the team like he did in Game 1. How has he grown over the offseason? You mentioned how strong and physical he's been, but as a facilitator stepping into that role even when those shots aren't dropping.
I'm not mad at the question because I get it. He just started off 0 for 5. He was plus 41. I'm not worried about him missing a shot. He was plus 41. Will that happen again this year? It might. He only played 23 minutes, and his group out there, when he was out there, was plus 41. The dude cares about one thing and one thing only, his team winning. And it's a great lesson for all our young guys. And then you see him and the rest of the seniors on the bench cheering for their freshmen and their new teammates. That's winning stuff. So, yeah, I think Ace had some of the games I've been around with Ace, he's only had 4, 6, 7 points and locked somebody up and got steals and made big free throws down the end. I mean, he's going to do whatever it takes to win. I saw a game where he had 35 for us, and I saw a game where he had 6 points and was the best player on the court. So he was plus 41. I'll never forget that.
Coach, you guys had 52 points in the paint, but you also made 9 3-pointers in the second half. Was that kind of a byproduct of putting so much pressure on the rim and kind of being able to dominate in the paint, in the perimeter? Is that kind of the direction you want to go in
Yes,
this year?
yeah, inside-outside action, getting drives, throwing it into Yannick and Kachi and other guys, offensive rebounds, inside-out, kicking those out, and just getting action that way and getting that defense rotating and scrambling. I just think those shots are easier when they're kicked out. I thought we had some open threes in the first half, playing inside-out. They just didn't drop. And the second half, we just got a bunch more of those, and they went in. And I thought guys gave up good opportunities to get great opportunities, and we have to play that way. The ball gets hot. We have multiple guys that can drive, multiple guys that can shoot. A guy like Yannick, if he stays one-on-one, he can score on people.
Coach, you guys had 23 second chance points tonight, and Puff alone had 4 offensive rebounds. How do you instill that grittiness mentality in these guys?
Call them out when they don't go. It's either 100% you're going to get an offense rebound and you think your teammate's going to miss. You don't yell it out loud, but you think that, or you're 100% you're getting back to create defensive transition, floor balance. And sometimes when you're 50-50, it's tougher to get it. So the mentality of defeating a block out, flying in there. We had some guys that didn't get the rebounds but kept it alive, knocked it away, and those become winning plays. Ace, I talk about Ace, but Puff Johnson is the same way. He cares about winning, and he'll do the dirty work, and he just, he's not afraid to go after loose balls and rebounds. They're winning plays. He had a couple of them today, and we'll need that from him all year long.
Your last question.
Coach, you already touched on the free throws, but even on plays there where players didn't draw a foul, it seemed like the team did a really good job of, finishing through contact tonight.
Yeah.
What do you make of that? What's the importance of that down in the paint?
We do this drill at Villanova. Jay Wright did it. We call it Nova Series, where pretty much every day for 8 minutes, there's a certain pivot move we use, and then we go play off 2 feet. And to be honest with you, we have these pads, and we beat the hell out of them. And Big B usually has a pad, so that gets you tougher. That gets you off your feet. It gets you to hit and finish. And then we grab and hold, and we call it a gauntlet drill into finishing against the pad where, we're beating the heck out of them. And just to have the mentality of I'm still going to eat the rim and go score no matter what kind of contact or wall up or type of backside defense comes over. But if you play off 2 feet, it gives you great balance. DeMarco was really good at that in the second half, and he's big and strong. So the weight room too, live in the weight room with Coach G makes you a better player.
Awesome.
You
Thanks,
good?
Coach.
Nate, you got any more?
That's it.
All right, brother.